Sup, folks? Can you hear me? All right. Let's see why this webcam is the one that's selected. No one even knows. There we go. All right. Friday afternoon. We made it through a week. Another week. It's Friday once again. And I'm here hanging out with y'all on YouTube. All right. Wow, look at all this stuff going on. Okay. Well, I'm going to start by answering some questions. Questions from fans on my various socials, and then I'll get to all these questions here in the chat. Let's fucking do it. All right. All right, here we go. First question. Favorite song I've made? I don't have a favorite song I've made. All my songs are like my children, and I can't judge one better than the other. I would say, Global Concepts definitely like opened a lot of doors for me and was kind of my first, I guess, hit, so to speak. So, thanks to that, I'm here today, shining in this like kind of like oppressively white light. Now it's yellow. Not man. Let's just leave that light off. The light was ruining Christmas. So, no favorite songs. Long Way Down and Global Concepts have brought me the most new fans, and that's all I really want out of life is new fans. So, sorry, this camera is just not. Everything's always a technical disaster with me because I'm out of control, baby. All right. Next question. Favorite Twin Peaks character? That's what it says here. I mean, it's got to be the good Coop, Dale Cooper. Though I'm a big fan of Dougie, to be honest, in The Return. Favorite Adventure Time character? I've never watched Adventure Time. I'm so sorry. So, the green one. When you hitting up Madison again? I don't know. There's going to be a tour announced soon, and then you'll find out on your own. Can't reveal too many secrets here on YouTube Live. Album when? Soon, very soon. It's going to get announced, and then you'll know as soon as the world knows. Yeah. What are your tour date and cities? Same answer to that question. What's your favorite ocean? The Pacific Ocean, because I've always lived on the left coast of America, and that's right next to the Pacific Ocean, the specifically Pacific Ocean, and it's a big one. I like big ones. Do you have a band or artist you'd love to tour with? Yeah, definitely. No, I mean honestly, my favorite bands. I mean, I'd love to tour with somebody like Tame Impala, who's just like playing giant shows. I'd love to go play Madison Square Garden, opening for somebody like that, Radiohead. But those bands are a little bit outside my wheelhouse as far as stylistically. So I don't know. I mean, I would do anything. Take me on tour, Flume. Take me on tour. I hope Jonah Hill's doing a tour. Jump on that tour. How do you stay inspired? Working out, breaking hearts, hanging out on YouTube. I don't know. Running is a big part of inspiration for me. I feel like I come up with a lot of ideas while running, and then I kind of distill them later when I'm here in the stewed. Which artist do you feel speaks to you directly? A lot of artists. Really, in the last week, the two artists I've probably listened to the most are Caroline Polachek, who used to be the singer of Chairlift. Love that. It's just like heart-wrenching music. And then probably, I've been listening to a lot of Ohm Unit OM unit, Bristol-based, like, kinda electronic, like, dub, dancehall, weird left field music producer. Um, if I had to pick one genre of music to listen to, what would it be? I don't know. I mean, I would cheat and just say electronic, and then that's just so much music. I mean, that's such an umbrella term. If I had to go like just one, that's it. Like something very specific. I don't know. Right now, it'd be jungle. I'm just in that jungle mood, dude. I just want to listen to drum and bass and party all day. Uh, is there anyone out there creating music or poetry that is eerily close to what you got going on inside of your head? I don't know. I find I connect with people on specific things, but rarely do I find an artist that speaks to me like continuously. So it's just like specific songs will speak to me, but rarely do I find an artist that like kind of is like right there with me. I mean, I feel like somebody who has a lot of similar life experiences to me is like Sir Sly, and I identify with a lot of those lyrics because of that. Um, but yeah, what do I get from Taco Bell? Crunchwrap Supreme and a chicken quesadilla and a whole bunch of hot sauce. Do you like hard cider? No, but if I had to drink it, I'd prefer it to be dry. What kind of coffee do I get? Every day, I get one shot of espresso and one small cold brew from my local coffee shop, Cafecito Organico. They're stars. They love me there, or they like already have it ready to go when I walk up. So yeah, let's answer some questions from the chat. Okay, same shirt as yesterday. It's true, but I mean, I was only wearing it for 15 minutes yesterday. So, opinions on Daft Punk's departure? They haven't put out music in so long. It's like it doesn't matter. But I mean, fan of course. What's your favorite thing about Michigan? Asks Liam's channel. Uh, Detroit, or my drummer slash drum tech Adam Phelps, who's a lovely man who lives there. Get Indies. Who's your dream duet partner? Right now, Caroline Polachek. Let's get her on the phone. When are you coming back to Chicago? That tour thing is going to get announced, and you'll find out as soon as everyone else does. How's life going for you? Ask Moon Illusions. Great. Are you jamming in a van? Not currently. Do I like Philly? I love Philly. Got some good friends in Philly. Philly's a beautiful place. Love hanging out in Fishtown. Yeah. What was the last time you ate strawberry donut from the Donut Man? You know about the Donut Man. You must have gone to Azusa Pacific University or hail from the Inland Empire out there. It's been, I probably the last time I got a donut from Donut Man was 2008. And I watched a drug deal happen at the same time. Yeah. Do you think you're going to be touring again this year? Yes. As I said, I'll be announcing that at some point soon. There will be new merch coming along with that. Moonlit Star. How do I feel about Cats, the animal, not the musical? I have a cat. Let me show you my cat. She's lovely. Her name is Avalanche. She lives in our backyard, and she's just a doll. We love Avalanche. She's a powerful cat that always looks a little annoyed because that's what cats do. They look annoyed. You cannot see that. There's just no way you're going to see that. Well, it's a beautiful picture of a gorgeous cat. Specific. Love the Crunchwrap, sir. What are your favorite drugs? Asked Sarah Knox. Pretty meat and potatoes guy over here. I love weed, sativa. I'll indulge in acid like once a year as a nice brain reset in a safe place with comfortable people. And yeah, I drink. I don't know. Other than that, most drugs aren't really for me anymore. Too old. Look at these like dark circles around my eyes. I'm dying. Dude, loved your show. Okay. Shoe size 9.5 to 10 depends on the shoe company. You work out, bro? If that's a question, yeah. The answer is yes. I do. I run a lot, and then I do other workouts sometimes. I just did a workout right now. Do they got chicken in Philly? I'm sure they do. You're my boy. I'm the guy that lives in Austin. Nice. Which one? What do you think of Royal and the Serpent? Don't know what that is, Lexi Nichols. Turn me on. Will you do a tour in the UK in the future? Sure hope so. Just get me real famous out there, and then they can't say no. So that's up to you. Sour energy drink. Lower your brightness on the phone to show the cat. I don't know if this thing is like kind of out of control. Yeah, my phone brightness is all the way down. You could barely see her. Yep, that's an absolutely awful way to look at her. She's too beautiful to look at her like that. Um, any chance of a tour in Australia in the near or far future? Of course, I'm always down to go to Australia. We'll be coming at you soon, but not immediately. Uh, yeah. Where have you never been that I've always wanted to visit? A lot of places. Never been to Tokyo or just Japan in general. I'd love to go to Japan. I haven't been to South America at all, so I mean that's a whole continent. Take me down to South America. I'll go anywhere down there. Yeah. What would you change about the state of mainstream music today? Well, I mean, that's a big question. I mean, I don't know. It's sort of a bummer to me. I think it's so great that so many people are getting opportunities to express themselves and find success via avenues like TikTok and Instagram, etc. But I will say that there's a lot of artists that are making great art, but just don't have a chance to get it out there because they're not the kind of people that look cool on TikTok or something. So I think that's something that's kind of a bummer right now, and I hope we can kind of find a way to let the music speak again because with the world of Spotify, it's like and all the streaming services, it's like everything has to be so fast. Like you get 30 seconds, and if somebody doesn't like the song in 15 seconds, they're like, "Yeah, I'm on to the next one. Fuck this guy." Which I don't know. It's cool, but it has forced this sort of flash in the pan kind of songwriting. And personally, I am I'm a lover of long form music. I mean, some of my favorite music is ambient music, but even classical jazz, which can stretch on forever. Or I like prog rock growing up, or like Pink Floyd and shit. And you know, something that gives you time to develop, I think is cool. And it is a little bit of a bummer that we're just so ADD about stuff that we can't even fucking listen to. That there's no commercial opportunities for kind of bands like that, bands that or musicians that are making stuff that's crazier and weirder and more long form and conceptual. But I think there's still an avenue for everything now because of the internet. So what do I fucking know? Uh, what is the best Tame Impala song and why is it Nangs? I don't know what my favorite Tame Impala song is. Probably my first Tame Impala song that I really fell in love with was "Only Go Backwards," which is going backwards in the past quite a bit, like a decade. But yeah, I don't know. I like them all. They're a fucking incredible band. Um, saw you 3 times. Can't wait for the fourth. Can't wait for the fifth. Do you play video games? I don't. I don't play video games. I'm sorry. I mean, I'll go to a barcade and jam on some old arcade games. I mean, I don't know. Tempest is my favorite. I love Tempest. Kind of more just the control. I like that really heavy, like rotating slider thing. I feel like it's always broken anytime that somebody has it because it's so easy to be violent with it. So Tempest, but that's an arcade game from 1980. So it's like a 41-year-old arcade game. Yeah. Last video game I really played was literally Full Throttle on PC, which if anyone knows that, it's like the old LucasArts days, like 1997 or something. Yeah. Any chance to tour through Sly or K-Fly? No, not right now, but we'll see. Galaga? Maybe is that a reference to Galaga? Galaga's tight. Love Galaga. Uh, Pinball is tight. Full Throttle. Wow. Yeah, somebody's got some references here. All right, so I'm gonna look at some of these other questions from my other socials. I have a small musical background, but don't really know any theory or a solid foundation. What would be a good place to start a foundation for learning music? And what is the best way to learn electronic music? Well, I mean, first of all, just get Ableton Live. Get started on Ableton Live, watch some tutorials, and just start digging in and fucking around with stuff. As far as music theory, YouTube's got it all out there. You don't need to go to school to learn this stuff, but honestly, finding like a teacher that can help you just like with the basics of like understanding kind of just like basic music theory stuff is helpful. And I kind of find that it like help is songwriting. Listening to somebody who's like a songwriter talk about how they write songs is a really helpful kind of tool to have. Meh, all right. Uh, what's the BPM of "Did It to Myself"? What is it? Oh, 140. It's 140 BPM. Dubstep tempo. Dub tempo. 70 BPM if you're thinking of it in halftime, which is probably the more appropriate way to think of it. Um, what are you up to? Anything fun for the weekend? Yeah, I have a friend's going away party tonight. Going to his parents' house. It's gonna be lovely. He's moving to New York to become a doctor of neuroscience. So much, uh, a much better person than me. Uh, how much swag would you say you have on a scale from 2014 meme format to Pitbull? Um, I don't know. Jeff Goldblum in The Fly swag. I already asked, answered what I got from talking about. How many of those questions do I get? Can you get your Smoke Signals cover on Spotify? That's my label. I'd love to put it up there. It's sick. A bunch of covers I'd love to put up there. Anyway, what's my favorite album to listen to right now? Oh my god, I've just been listening to this EP uh, by this guy Soli. The EP is called Swan Dive. Check it out, dude. If you love like instrumental drum and bass, like jungle, like it is just heavy. It's party, but it's also cool and nuanced, really techy. It's great. Just fucking take that one for a ride. Swan Dive EP by Sully, Sully. Uh, how did you find you could make music through game controllers or other such unconventional instruments? Just messing around. I mean, really, that's it. I've always been a nerd, interested in nerdy stuff. So yeah, let's look at some of these other questions. What is Lights like IRL? She's a lot like she is in the internet world. I mean, she's just super personable and really nice. Her daughter's really nice, and she's really nice to her daughter. Um, I don't know. She's just like she's pumped up. She's super creative. You know, high energy, very high energy, which is great. I'm a fan of high energy people. Uh, yeah. What are my goals now? Same goals I've always had to take over the world. Uh, what other socials should we be following? I don't know. I mean, should we even be using the internet? It kind of feels like it's destroying our lives. But of course, Instagram, Facebook, all the ones. TikTok. I'm on Twitter. Yeah. I mean, Instagram is probably the place I spend the most time. I like pictures. Clearly a millennial, so TikTok scares and confuses me. Uh, favorite cars ever? Not much of a car person, to be honest. Um, I like my Honda CRV. Uh, what's my favorite song I ever wrote? Like I said, I can't have favorites. It's like choosing between my children. But again, global concepts, that fucking got me somewhere. Yes, a new album, David Summerall. I've already answered this question, but there is going to be a new album, and we'll find out when everyone else finds out when it's coming out. I'm coming out. Now I know Long Way Down was in The Sims 4 Get to Work expansion pack. What was the reasons behind them asking you? I don't know. They just thought that people might like Long Way Down in Simlish. It was really very strange recording the Simlish version of it, but it was fun also. Star Trek or Star Wars? Whoa, Amber Keith. Do I have to choose sides? I mean, yeah, I don't know. I've always loved them both. You know, as a kid, obviously, Star Wars speaks to you a little bit more because it's more kiddish. Um, some of the social issues that Star Trek was dealing with just kind of went way over my head. But I mean, I've watched every episode of every season of Star Trek multiple times. So I think that proves that Star Trek's a little bit more important to me. Um, yeah. What songs am I playing tonight? Not playing any songs tonight. We're just hanging out. Uh, have I ever been in a hot air balloon? No, would love to. When you create music, do you think of a genre to write in, find direction, or just let it happen? Kind of depends. Depends on what's going on. I don't know. It's so yeah. I feel like writing a song, starting with vocals, I kind of choose the genre afterwards. After I've kind of written a song, maybe it's on acoustic guitar and singing. Um, but a lot of times when I'm producing stuff, I'm like, yo, I want to produce some tripped out like electronic dub at 150 BPM, and that's where I start, and then it all kind of evolves from there. Or I'll be like, yeah, I want to do this like four on the floor, like kind of disco related thing at like 112 BPM, but I want to have some like funky like talking heads, like percussion in the background, and then I want like some big fat ugly like noisy synths on top of it, that kind of thing. And so yeah, I if I'm just doing production stuff, I always kind of approach it from a genre perspective. Yeah. Hi, Robert. Listening to music from since 2014. Thanks for the greatest tunes ever. That's really nice. Thanks, Funk Engine. When am I coming to Texas again? Same answer as everyone on the touring bit. You'll know as soon as everyone else knows, and it's gonna happen. Loved my CRV. I still love my CRV. That's a great little tune as well. What was your inspiration for reaching out to your followers through text and different social media platforms? I mean, you got to do something. Still haven't left my house in like a year, so seemed like a nice way to hang out with y'all. Look at that! Look at that mole. Born with it. Birthmark. Favorite or least favorite part of the songwriting process? Favorite part is writing the song. Least favorite part is finishing a song because it always feels like it's done, and then you have to finish it like 20 more times. Um, so yeah, but I mean, that's the hardest part is finishing songs. Uh, do you think it's more important as an artist to constantly be releasing material as singles, or take the time off to make a whole body of work like an album? I think commercially, it makes more sense to be releasing singles these days. But that being said, if you don't have like a sort of grounding body of work, it just depends on what you're doing. Like an artist like me, I think my music makes a lot of sense in a long form because I really do a lot of genre hopping, and I want to like create a whole world for people to live in. Whereas, yeah, if you're like a more like straight up just like singer pop artist, like maybe it makes more sense to be doing singles, especially if you're like somebody who features a lot on stuff, or you're like a rapper or something. Yeah, maybe it makes more sense. But yeah, really just depends on the artist, I think. Um, Best show of the '90s, Twin Peaks. I guess that was late '80s, early '90s, but I mean, no doubt. Uh, was K-Flay fun to work with? Iroquois Pliskin? Yeah. Oh yeah, she's great. Love her. She's a mensch for sure. What tarot card is the most meaningful to you? I don't know. I don't know. The Knight of Wands is pretty sick. I like the imagery there. Uh, ever played banjo and kazooie? No. Will Canada be on the next album? Believe it or not, Canada is the only song I'll be playing from here on out. Canada, Canada, Canada. It's only Canada all the way down, the long way down to Canada. What's my favorite state to tour? I mean, I don't know. They're all great. I love everyone. I love going everywhere. I do love going to New York because some places there where I have great shows, and then I get to go to New York City, which is just, I mean, it's one of my favorite cities in the world to visit. So, yeah. Uh, what percentage of your songs that you write do you actually release? Like 1%. I literally probably write 50 to 100 songs for every song that's released. I mean, writing a song, some of that is just like an instrumental, or like, I fucking pounded something out on acoustic guitar that's like a verse and a chorus, and it's like, it wasn't that good, so. But yes, yeah, somewhere in that ratio, 1 to 5%. Yeah. Uh, show the toes for the bros. No. Uh, sup, fellow Bothell. Shout out to B Town, homie. What's your best piece of advice for starting up as a guitarist in the Seattle area? No fucking clue, because I have no idea what the music scene is like there. But My best advice for somebody starting as a guitarist is practicing a lot, trying to figure out what your take is on everything. I think that's the most important thing as a musician. It's like you do have to get proficient with your instrument. That's super important. It's helpful to know your history so you can kind of see how you fit in context of everything. You might find that the thing you liked about some genre of music that you're attaching yourself to actually comes from somewhere else that is way more interesting and has way more depth. That being said, I mean, I think finding your own voice is the biggest thing as a guitarist, as a drummer, as a singer, whatever. It's finding your own like your own special take on something and really honing that and being confident about it and like really pushing it. But of course, you have to like become proficient before getting to that point. So, um, what's my favorite type of food? I love all food. I'm a big food lover. One of my favorite food items ever is tom kha soup. It's a Thai soup, Thai coconut soup. That's just delicious. It's got like uh, it's got like mushrooms and usually chicken, and it's traditionally like super spicy. Love that shit. Yeah. Hugs from Brazil, my boy. Hugs right back to you, Frederico. Frederico. I don't know. Favorite movie genre, sci-fi. That's easy. It's nearly 1:30 a.m. for me. Will this be available on the channel after the stream? Yeah, I do believe so. Um, do you write music to be performed by others beside Kelly? Yeah, yeah, I've written music for other people. Um, yeah, quite a few songs that have been released that are for other people, and I have some more stuff coming up like that. I love writing songs, uh, for someone else. That's it. Uh, Long time fan, met you in Milwaukee. Any advice for a budding electronica artist? It's kind of what I said to the guitarist. You know, spend your time, pay your dues, like really just hone in what it is you like to make and try to make it good. And then be nice and like just try to like put yourself out there and find like allies. I don't know. I really don't know. It's so much of it is luck, but really the most important thing is like you can't have a career if your music's not good for starters. A lot of people have good music, and so a big part of what makes people successful is luck. And then number 3 is like, yeah, just like don't burn your bridges, man. I've seen that happen so many times. People are just jerks, and people don't want to work with them, and then they kind of just fade away. Um, do I like Animal Collective? Love Animal Collective. Yeah, I haven't really listened to any of their new stuff, probably a decade, but Merriweather Post. What a great fucking record. Of course, loved Strawberry Jam. Ah, stuff's great. Yeah. Bye, sour energy drink. Curious if you're a Bo Burnham fan. Yeah. Oh, Shoban asks. Yeah. Bo Burnham's tight. I haven't watched the new special, but I did just watch How To with John Wilson. Highly recommend, man. What a great. First of all, just like what an accurate like view of New York City. I couldn't imagine a more like accurate depiction of that city. Um, yeah, definitely worth a watch. How To John Wilson. Uh, what's the paddle with the lasers instrument called? It's called the laser harp. The paddles are kind of my own take on it. The people use like white gloves, like Mickey Mouse. I can't really wear gloves because I'm drumming all the time, but you're not supposed to use your hands on the lasers because it could cause UV damage to your skin, um, which isn't what I want. So I use the white paddles, and that's what I do. That's how I do. Is it easiest for me to write when I'm in a positive mood, a negative mood, or does it matter? Positive mood. It's really hard to write in a negative mood. I can be in a. I mean, it depends on what you mean by negative mood. Writing when angry, almost impossible. I think I've written one song that is good while I'm angry, um, but that's not the kind of music I write generally. Writing when I'm sad, that can work out sometimes, but more often than not, I'm in a good mood when I'm writing. And it's like even if I'm writing some fucked up shit, I'm like as I'm writing, it's like, yeah, I'm fucking nailing it. That's cool. So Yeah, positive mood. But I'm generally in a positive mood, so. So you said a few years ago in Austin, Texas, during South by Southwest, and it was spectacular. Thanks for all you do. Thanks for all you do, Saucer Jess. Have you watched Below Deck Mediterranean? Have not. I don't know what that is. What's my favorite emotion to explore in a song? I don't know. I think all the emotions matter, you know? I mean, sadness and nostalgia are things that I definitely touch on in a lot of music, especially earlier music. Um, I don't know. Yeah, I think one emotion that I try to explore in my music, which I'm probably more successful when I'm just doing instrumental music or weird trip out stuff, is sort of like the like what is like the epiphanic state of like feeling like a transcendental moment, transcendent moment, which is kind of hard to relate in pop music. The Beatles were good at that occasionally, but for me, that's something that is very difficult to pin down lyrically. Much easier to do in like an instrumental sense, and I mean that's like all my favorite instrumental music I've ever written is just like tripping you out, feels spiritual, but you don't know what's going on. Yeah. Um. Oh yeah, Below Deck. I see. You said Below Deck Mediterranean. I see. I understand now. Below Deck is the animated Star Trek series. And okay, so yeah, there it is. I lied to you. I haven't watched Below Deck. I've watched all the other Star Trek series multiple times. I kind of, to be honest, I wasn't a huge fan of Below Decks. Lower Decks? That was Lower Decks. Anyway, um, what's your favorite kind of ice cream? Whatever kind doesn't have dairy, because otherwise I feel sick. So, but Rocky Road for sure. Uh, Saludos desde Mexico. Robert, that's me. Hi, Valeria Perez. Thank you for tuning in. Do you like to write more when you're sober or when you're kind of high buzzed? I don't know. I mean, most of my songs I write sober. Just my good songs. Um, but most of the wild production stuff comes from when I'm stoned. So I do smoke weed. I can't write music drunk. It just doesn't happen. And yeah, that's just not my thing. So there you go. How much time went into my next album? Woo! A whole bunch. A whole bunch. I feel like you'll be able to hear it once you hear it. It's pretty thorough and definitely out there, and like a lot of crazy shit going on. I really can't wait for you guys to hear my new record. It's fucking wild, and it's like it spans so many genres, and it's very different than stuff I've written before, but still is very much me, Robert DeLong. I should check it out. Major Disaster. I love the offbeats of your music, especially the jarring but gorgeous electric stratata. Staccato. Thank you. Chris Bright. It's nice of you to say, Chris Bright. I knew somebody named Chris Bright who spelled his name differently. He went to college with me. Nice chap. Any more collaborations with Bird and the Bee on the horizon? I just did that remix for them. I've never met them, to my knowledge. No, I don't think I ever met them after that. But I did that remix for them, and that was a great, fun remix to do. Yeah, I was a fan of them when I was in college, so that was kind of a fun blast for the past, from the past. So we're blast from the past, starring Brendan Fraser. What's my favorite Smash game? I'd have to go with 64, just because that was happening when I was young enough to be playing video games. But now, unfortunately, I've moved on from video games. Yes, I would do an acoustic album, Phoenix Talon. Yeah, I hope to put one out soon. I'm still digging the 80s synth and toms. Yeah, fucking love that stuff too. I don't know. I mean, I feel like my musical tastes are like constantly shifting and evolving. So, um, yeah, I feel like I've been doing less and less with like 80s sounding stuff and like more of this like futuristic, like either take on like duddy 70s rock stuff in like a weird hi-fi chopped up way, or like yeah, like UK like drums, like stuff that's more related to like garage or fucking jungle and dub and all that stuff. Yeah. Hi Robbie, how did you decide to use a straight kick pattern in the middle of a triplet feel song? I loved it. You're a genius, my friend. S. Reese Weber. Which song are we talking about? Oh, are you talking about Did It to Myself? Maybe I don't know. I do that a lot. I love that shit. Polyrhythms. I love the weird sort of like almost like shifts your uh like perception of what's going on. Um like if you're hearing triplets like bubba da bubba da bubba da bubba da, all while it's like boom boom pop boom pop boom boom ba, da. It like that weird tension kind of like splits your brain up in different ways, and I think that like kind of changes your consciousness a little bit sometimes if you're really tuning into the music, and that can be like a cool way to kind of like I don't know, really get people to pay attention or trance out. Yeah, but depends on the context, of course. Um, yeah. Loved your performance at Nubo. Oh, yeah, that was fun. Cedar Rapids, good times. Yeah. Oh, Few Years Make is your favorite song. Oh, thank you from Colombia. Thank you. I love that song too. That one means a lot to me. That's one of the oldest songs in my repertoire, and it's like, yeah, I mean, that was really like a review of my life up to that point when I wrote it. I wrote it on a bunch of note cards. Um, in an apartment I lived in for like 2 months after getting real high at somewhere in the beach. Which beach? Oh, Malibu. I was at like was it what's it called, like 100 steps or 70 steps or 700 steps, whatever that place is called. I was in the ocean and then came back and was just inspired to write that tune. It kind of just fell out. Yeah. Yeah. Man, really want to see these toes, dude. It's kind of more fun to leave you waiting. Yeah, I did get that pedicure, and I put them online. Who do I want to see in concert? Everybody. Want to see them all. I want to go to like a. I mean, I've been kind of just preaching this fucking jungle shit, but like, yeah, I want to go to a fucking like Rua sound night, like in Bristol. Just like fucking rage face to a bunch of just party jungle, dude. Bunch of people with accents. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, this is such a blast hanging out here. Wow, time really flies by. It's been 40 minutes. I've just been cranking out these answers to questions. What an AMA. That's an AMA. Stands for All Men Ass. I think that's what it stands for. All Men Ass. No. Any chance you're coming to Cali soon? I live here. Yeah. Cool. Well, here. I'll do 4 more questions if you guys just pound them in. Get them in right now, and I'm going to choose them arbitrarily, and we're going to fucking pound them out. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Ask me anything. Ask me what my favorite kind of dog is. Who's my favorite kind of hot dog? How many dogs can you fit in a bucket? What is the size of the largest dog? Yeah, I don't want to answer these questions. Favorite drink lately? Thank you, Shoban, for asking a civilized question. Traditionally, I'm a very tequila-focused person, but I will say, been digging some old fashions lately, which is, kind of on the nose, but yeah, Negronis as well. Actually, no, take it all back. Take it all back. My favorite drink lately is a espresso martini. Espresso martini. That shit will get you wired and pumped up and really excited to tell people stories they don't want to hear. Um, have I ever been electrocuted? Oh yeah. Yeah. Too many times actually. It's probably why I'm stupid. Uh, yeah. Favorite Ultra Vix song? I don't know who Ultra Vix is. I'm so sorry. What are my spiritual beliefs? what's the yeah, religious views, right? I'm an atheist. Yeah, but that sounds so reductive. Yeah, I don't know. There's lots of stuff going on out there in the universe, but I definitely don't subscribe to any mainline religion. That's for sure. Uh, how long have I been a Nine Inch Nails fan? I'm not a huge Nine Inch Nails fan, but yeah. I mean, I do think Trent Reznor's like one of the most important innovators in the world of electronic and alternative music. In the last 30 years. So yeah, he's fucking great. Favorite soda? Probably Topo Chico. Straight up soda water, seltzer water. Yeah, love it. What do I look for in a potential lover? Asked Mary Jane. I don't know because I haven't had. I mean, I haven't had a successful relationship yet in the sense that I'm single. So I don't know. What do I look for? I'd love to meet somebody who like has as much energy as me and loves running, and also is really into left field or experimental music, and also is like a genius and is very successful, and it's like smoking hot and drives a Porsche 911. Yeah, those are the only qualities I'm looking for. Nothing more than that. Uh, why is the sky blue? Complicated answer. I think you could probably ask Neil deGrasse Tyson that one, and he'd have a more thorough answer. Uh, any advice for stage fright? I don't know. I performing a lot. Honestly, it took me years to get over it, but yeah, just performing a lot. Shot of whiskey helps right before you go on. Um, meditating before you like having a routine before you hit the stage is really good. Having dead time before you hit the stage is really bad. Having that time just to like sit in the back and think about your life or some shit, that's terrible. Fill your hours before the show after sound check with something, anything. Um, and make sure it's structured so that when it's just like ding, 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 we do these things, we do these things, we do these things, we do these things on stage. And when you're on stage, it's like the adrenaline takes over and the stage fright dissipates. So yeah. Um, and look above the crowd. That helps too. Don't look in eyes, look above the eyes. Uh, yeah. Would you do a drum circle? Oh yeah. Love drum circles. Shit, we should do that on tour all the time. Yeah, I mean it's so fucking hippie and nerdy, but yeah, super about it. We used to go used to go down to the Venice Drum Circle a lot, probably back in like 2008. Yeah, go down to the Venice Drum Circle and you know, grab a tall can and just like fucking hit on like some piece of wood and it's like so funny because there'd be like these guys from USC, they're like super studied, and then these like sick dudes that played in like cumbia bands, and then a bunch of kids just like fucking pounding, and it just sounds like chaos. And it would occasionally like settle into something like really groovy, and then like 40 seconds later, it would devolve into just the sound of 1,000 people hitting crap. Yeah. Oh, you didn't ruin my show, Phoenix Talon. September 25th, Drum Circle. Yeah, baby. Let's do it. Favorite strain of weed? I mean, Jack Herrera. That one does me good. It's the right amount of like head zinginess, but with like a little bit of mellowness, yeah. Yeah. All right. So this has just been really fun. What a great time we've had here today, here in my studio. You can take a look around at some things where I do stuff. It's my computer. Here's my big old giant screen. There's my drum set. There's some of my gear and crap. And here's me, Robert DeLong, the one, the only, your good friend. Thank you guys for hanging out. And yeah, we'll see each other next week on the internet. Until then, have a beautiful weekend. Be safe. Stay fresh. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. If you do, well, actually, you know what? Do whatever the fuck you want. Don't listen to me. I'm just some guy. All right. Love you. Bye.